The alarm bells rang through the massive ship floating in the darkness of space. Captain Jake Morrison rushed to the bridge, his boots making sharp sounds on the metal floor. The EDF Sovereign was the biggest warship Earth had ever built, but nobody was supposed to know it existed. "What's happening?" Jake asked as he reached his command chair. "Incoming message from the Galactic Council," said Communications Officer Beth Taylor. Her face was pale as she looked at the main screen. "Sir, they're giving us an ultimatum." The screen flickered and showed 12 different alien faces. Each one looked different from the others, but they all had the same cold expression. The one in the center spoke first. "Humans of Earth," the alien said. Its voice sounded like metal scraping against stone. "I am High Counselor Vexi. Your species has been watched for 300 years. You are too dangerous to exist as you are." Jake felt his jaw tighten. For 3 centuries, Earth had been cut off from the rest of the galaxy. The aliens had put up a barrier around their solar system, claiming humans were too violent to join galactic society. "You have 72 hours, another alien continued. This one had blue skin and 4 arms. "Submit to our pacification protocols or face complete destruction. We have assembled our fleets. Resistance is impossible." The message ended and the bridge fell silent. Jake looked around at his crew. These were the best people Earth had to offer. Each one had trained for years to serve on humanity's secret weapon. "How many ships are out there?" Jake asked. Science Officer Amy Foster checked her instruments. "Long-range sensors show over 2,000 alien ships moving toward our solar system." 12 different species, Captain. "All of them." Chief Engineer Lisa Carter spoke up from her station. "Sir, our quantum drive is ready. All weapon systems are online. The ship is at full power." Jake nodded slowly. The Sovereign was not just any battleship. While the aliens thought humans were trapped in their home system, Earth's best scientists had been working. They had built technology that should have been impossible. "They want to make us peaceful by force," Jake said. "Remove our ability to think for ourselves. Turn us into sheep." Tactical Officer Ryan Brooks pulled up a holographic display. "The alien fleets are positioning themselves around our solar system. They expect us to surrender without a fight." "What are our orders from Earth Command?" asked First Officer Carl Davis. Jake stood up and walked to the front of the bridge. Through the thick windows, he could see stars scattered across the darkness. Somewhere out there, alien ships were coming to destroy everything humans had built. "Earth Command has given us permission to do whatever we think is best," Jake said. "They know this might be humanity's last chance." "Sir," Carl said carefully, "we're talking about one ship against the entire galaxy. The odds are impossible." Jake turned to face his crew. "The aliens think they know us. They've been watching us for 300 years, but they've never understood what makes humans special. They see our wars and our conflicts, and they think we're just violent animals." He walked back to his command chair. "They don't understand that our strength comes from those conflicts. We grow stronger because we face challenges. We become better because we have to fight for what we believe in." Lisa looked up from her engineering station. "Captain, the quantum tunnel drive can get us to the galactic core in 2 weeks. But once we're there, we'll be surrounded." "Good," Jake said. "I want them to see us coming." Amy turned in her chair. "Sir, I've been studying the alien species for years. Each one thinks they have the perfect society. The Zephyrians are pure energy beings who think physical matter is primitive. The Nexari share one mind and can't understand individual thought. The Corvani have lived for thousands of years and think they know everything." "What's their weakness?" Ryan asked. "They've all become too comfortable," Amy replied. "They haven't had to adapt or change for centuries. They've forgotten how to deal with something unexpected." Jake sat down and looked at the main screen, which now showed a star map of their route to the galactic core. "Set course for the Council space station. Maximum speed." "Captain," Beth said, "I'm receiving messages from Earth. Millions of people are watching the news. They know the aliens are coming. What are they saying?" "They're not afraid, sir. They're angry. They want us to fight." Jake smiled for the first time since the alien message had arrived. "That's what makes us human. We don't back down when someone tries to bully us." The ship began to move, its massive engines creating a blue glow in the darkness. Around them, space began to bend and twist as the quantum drive activated. This was technology the aliens had never seen before. All departments. "Report status," Jake ordered. "Engineering ready." Lisa called out. "Weapons charged and standing by." Ryan confirmed. "Navigation locked on target," Amy reported. "Communications clear." Beth added. "Security teams in position. came the voice of Chief Security Officer Nina Wells over the intercom. Jake looked around the bridge one more time. These people trusted him to lead them into what might be the last battle humanity would ever fight. But he wasn't thinking about losing. He was thinking about what would happen when the galaxy realized they had made a terrible mistake. The aliens wanted to see what humans are capable of, Jake said, his voice carrying to every person on the ship through the communication system. They think our independence and our willingness to fight make us dangerous. They're right. We are dangerous to anyone who tries to take away our freedom. The stars outside began to blur as the ship moved faster than light itself. Space folded around them like paper, carrying them toward the center of the galaxy where 12 alien species waited to judge humanity. Today, we show them what 300 years of human determination can accomplish. Jake continued. We show them that peace built on fear and control is no peace at all. We show them that sometimes the best way to defend peace is to refuse to surrender it. The Sovereign disappeared into quantum space, leaving only empty darkness behind. In 2 weeks, it would arrive at the galactic core. When it did, the galaxy would never be the same. The Sovereign moved through quantum space like a ghost through walls. Outside the ship's windows, normal space looked twisted and strange. Colors that had no names flowed past them as they traveled faster than anything in the galaxy. Jake stood in the ship's war room, looking at a large table that showed a 3-dimensional map of their destination. Around him, his senior officers studied the information they had gathered about their enemies. 2 weeks until we reach the galactic core, said Amy Foster, pointing to the map. The Council space station is huge. It's the size of a small moon, and it's been the center of galactic government for over 1,000 years. Dr. Alan Hughes, the ship's expert on alien life, activated a holographic display. 12 different alien species appeared in the air above the table. These are our opponents. Each one believes their way of life is perfect. The first image showed a creature made of pure light. The Zephyrians gave up physical bodies centuries ago. They think anyone with a solid form is primitive. They fight using pure energy weapons that can melt through any known metal. The next image was stranger. It looked like a single creature with thousands of parts. The Nexari are a hive mind. They share thoughts across their entire species. To them, humans are chaos because we all think differently. A tall, ancient-looking being appeared next. The Corvani have lived for thousands of years. They believe everything in the universe should follow the same pattern. Change makes them angry. Jake studied each alien face. What about their technology? That's the interesting part, Amy said. Their ships are powerful, but they haven't improved much in centuries. They've become comfortable with what they have. Lisa Carter joined them from the engineering section. I've been running tests on our quantum systems. Captain, what we've built shouldn't be possible according to their science. They have no idea what we're capable of. Show me, Jake said. Lisa activated a control panel and the lights in the room dimmed. Our quantum shields don't just stop attacks. They can absorb energy and send it back. Our weapons can fire through dimensions. Our engines can make the ship exist in multiple places at the same time. Ryan Brooks looked up from his tactical display. Sir, I've been studying their fleet movements. They're arranging their ships in traditional battle formations. They expect a normal fight. How normal? Jake asked. They think we'll show up, realize we're outnumbered, and surrender. They've never faced anyone who refused to give up. Communications Officer Beth Taylor received a message from Earth. Captain, I'm getting reports from home. The alien fleets have reached the outer edge of our solar system. They're waiting for our answer to their ultimatum. What's Earth Command saying? Admiral Peterson says the defensive stations are ready, but they can't hold off 2,000 ships. Everything depends on us. Jake walked to the window and looked out at the strange colors of quantum space. Somewhere behind them, Earth was preparing for the worst. Somewhere ahead, an entire galaxy was waiting to destroy them. Dr. Hughes, Jake said, in all your studies of alien cultures, have any of them ever changed their minds about anything? The doctor thought for a moment. No, sir. That's their greatest weakness. They decided long ago that their way was right and they stopped learning. They stopped growing. What about humans? Humans are the opposite. We argue with each other constantly. We try new things even when they might fail. We learn from our mistakes and become stronger. Chief Security Officer Nina Wells entered the war room. Captain, I've finished organizing our security teams. 800 crew members, all volunteers. Everyone knows this is probably a one-way trip. What's the mood among the crew? Determined, sir. Nobody's talking about surrender. They want to show the galaxy what Earth is made of. Jake looked around the room at his officers. These people had trained their entire lives for this moment. Earth's best scientists, soldiers, and thinkers, all working together on one ship. The aliens made a mistake, Jake said. They think peace means everyone has to be the same. They think safety means no one can be different. They've built a galaxy where no one is allowed to dream of something better. Amy nodded. Their idea of perfection is stagnation. Exactly. And now they want to force that on us. They want to take away everything that makes us human. Lisa checked her instruments. Captain, we're halfway to our destination. All systems are running perfectly. The quantum drive is actually performing better than we expected. The ship wants to fight as much as we do, Ryan said with a smile. Jake activated the ship's communication system. His voice would now reach every person aboard the Sovereign. This is the captain. I know many of you are thinking about home right now. About the people we left behind. About what might happen to Earth if we fail. He paused, looking out at the swirling colors of quantum space. I want you to remember something. Humans have always been underestimated. When we first learned to make fire, other creatures thought we were weak. When we built our first cities, others said they wouldn't last. When we reached for the stars, people said it was impossible. The bridge was quiet except for the gentle hum of the ship's engines. The aliens have watched us for 300 years, but they've never understood us. They see our wars and think we're violent. They see our arguments and think we're chaotic. They see our independence and think we're dangerous. Jake smiled. They're right about that last part. We are dangerous. We're dangerous to anyone who tries to tell us we can't improve. We're dangerous to anyone who says we must all think the same way. We're dangerous to anyone who believes that comfort is more important than freedom. Beth looked up from her communication station. Sir, I'm detecting some kind of response from Earth. It's music. Music? Thousands of radio stations are broadcasting the same song. It's spreading across the planet. People are singing together. The sound filled the bridge. It was a simple song, but it spoke of hope and determination. It spoke of refusing to give up no matter how bad things looked. That's humanity, Jake said. When we're threatened, we don't hide. We don't surrender. We stand together, and we fight back. The ship continued its journey through quantum space, carrying 800 humans toward a confrontation that would change the galaxy forever. In 1 week, they would arrive at the Council space station. When they did, 12 alien species would learn that their peaceful, ordered universe was about to become much more interesting. The Sovereign dropped out of quantum space like a thunderbolt appearing in a clear sky. One moment there was empty space around the massive Council station. The next moment, a kilometer-long human warship materialized in the middle of the alien fleet. I'll stop, Jake ordered from his captain's chair. Around him, the bridge crew worked frantically to assess their situation. Sensors show 1,947 alien ships surrounding the Council station, Amy Foster reported. They're all pointing weapons at us. Are their shields up? Jake asked. No, sir. They weren't expecting us to arrive so suddenly. Their ships are scrambling to battle positions. Jake looked at the main screen, which showed the Council space station. It was enormous, easily the size of Earth's moon. 12 different types of alien ships floated around it in neat formations. Each fleet represented a different species, and together they could destroy entire solar systems. Open a communication channel, Jake ordered. Channel open. Sir, Beth Taylor confirmed. The main screen changed to show the interior of the Council chamber. 12 alien beings sat in a circle, each one representing their species. The one in the center, High Counselor Vexhai, looked surprised to see the human ship. Humans, Vexhai said, its voice carrying across space. You have come to surrender. No, Jake replied simply. We've come to talk. The aliens looked at each other with confusion. Behind them, Jake could see other council members whispering among themselves. They had clearly expected Earth to send a delegation in a small diplomatic ship, not a massive warship. You bring one ship against our entire fleet, said another council member, this one with blue skin and 4 arms. This is madness, is it? Jake asked. You demanded that we surrender our independence. You want to change us into something we're not. Did you really think we would agree to that? High Counselor Vexhi's expression hardened. Your species is too aggressive, too unpredictable. You threaten the peace we have built. What peace? Jake stood up from his chair. You've created a galaxy where everyone has to think the same way, where no one is allowed to be different. That's not peace. That's control. The Corvani representative, an ancient being that looked like it was made of living stone, spoke for the first time. We have maintained order for 1,000 years. Your chaos would destroy everything. Our chaos, Jake repeated. You mean our freedom to make our own choices. Our right to disagree with each other. Our ability to grow and change and become better than we were. Ryan Brooks whispered from his tactical station. Captain, their ships are moving to surround us. Energy signatures are building across their fleet. Jake nodded but kept his attention on the aliens. You've been watching us for 300 years. You've seen our wars, our conflicts, our struggles. But did you see what came after? Destruction, Vexhi said. Always destruction. Learning, Jake corrected. We learned from every conflict. We grew stronger. We became better. That's what you're really afraid of. Not that we're violent, but that we refuse to stop improving. Amy Foster looked up from her science station. Captain, I'm detecting some unusual readings from our quantum systems. The ship is resonating with something. What kind of something? I'm not sure. It's like the fabric of space around us is responding to our presence. Lisa Carter's voice came over the intercom from engineering. Captain, our quantum field is interacting with the local space-time. The alien sensors can't get a proper reading on us, Jake smiled. Even their technology was surprising the aliens. You wanted to see what 300 years of human determination could accomplish. Let me show you. He nodded to Ryan, who activated the ship's maneuvering systems. The Sovereign began to move in ways that should have been impossible. It seemed to slide sideways through space without turning. It became transparent, then solid again. It appeared to be in 3 different places at the same time. The alien ships tried to track the human vessel, but their targeting systems couldn't lock on. Their sensors showed conflicting information. Some said the ship was directly in front of them. Others said it was behind them. A few said it didn't exist at all. Impossible, whispered the Zephyrian representative, a being of pure energy. No physical matter can manipulate quantum fields like that. You're right, Jake said. No known matter can do that. But human technology doesn't follow your rules. The Nexari Collective spoke as one voice. Your technology violates the fundamental laws of physics. Your physics, Amy Foster interjected, speaking for the first time to the aliens. We've spent 3 centuries developing new theories, new understanding. While your galaxy stood still, we kept moving forward. High Counselor Vexhi stood up from its chair. Enough demonstrations. You will surrender now or we will destroy you. Go ahead and try, Jake said calmly. The challenge hung in space like a thrown gauntlet. For 1,000 years, no one had defied the Galactic Council. No one had refused their demands. The aliens had forgotten what it felt like to face someone who wouldn't back down. You are one ship, Vexhi said. We are thousands. Numbers don't matter if you can't hit your target, Jake replied. But we're not here to fight unless you force us to. We're here to offer you something you've forgotten how to do. Which is? Change, growth. The chance to become something better than you are right now. The council chamber erupted in alien voices. Some species were angry at the humans' arrogance. Others seemed curious about what Jake meant. The ancient Corvani representative remained silent, but its eyes were fixed on the main screen. You offer us chaos, Vexhi said finally. We offer you freedom, Jake corrected. The freedom to think new thoughts, to try new ideas, to make mistakes and learn from them, to become more than you were yesterday. Nina Wells's voice came over the bridge intercom. Captain, alien ships are powering weapons. Multiple species. They're preparing to fire. Jake looked directly into the camera, his eyes meeting those of every council member. You can try to destroy us. Maybe you'll succeed. But the idea we represent won't die with our ship. Other humans will come. They'll be smarter, stronger, more determined. Is that really the galaxy you want to create? The alien fleet hung motionless in space, weapons charged but not yet firing. The council members argued among themselves in languages that sounded like music, grinding stone and electronic static. Finally, High Counselor Vexhi raised one hand for silence. You have spoken your words, human. Now face the consequences of your defiance. The first energy blast lit up space like a miniature sun. It was followed by hundreds more as the alien fleet opened fire on the lone human ship. The battle for humanity's future had begun. The first wave of alien fire should have vaporized the Sovereign instantly. Energy beams hot enough to melt planets struck the human ship from every direction. But instead of exploding, the Sovereign did something impossible. The ship absorbed every attack and sent the energy back twice as strong. Quantum shields holding, Lisa Carter reported from engineering. Her voice calm despite the incredible forces hitting their ship. Energy absorption at 90% efficiency. Redirecting power to weapons. 3 Zephyrian energy ships disappeared in brilliant flashes as their own weapons destroyed them. The remaining alien fleet stopped firing, confusion spreading through their ranks. "How is this possible?" came the shocked voice of High Counselor Vexhai over the communication channel. Jake smiled grimly. "We told you. 300 years of human innovation. You wanted to see what we're capable of." The alien ships began moving into new formations. The Nexari hive mind vessels surrounded the Sovereign in a perfect sphere, their shared consciousness allowing perfect coordination. No single ship could escape such a trap. But the Sovereign wasn't a single ship anymore. "Phase shift activated," Amy Foster announced. The human vessel became translucent, existing partially in normal space and partially in quantum dimensions. The Nexari ships found themselves surrounding empty space. The Sovereign reappeared behind the alien formation and fired a single shot. The quantum torpedo passed through 3 Nexari ships before exploding, its energy tearing holes in space itself. "Impossible," the Nexari collective screamed as one voice. "Matter cannot exist in multiple dimensions." "Human matter can," Ryan Brooks said from his tactical station. "We've learned to think outside your rules." The Corvani ancient ships moved forward next. These vessels were thousands of years old, built with technology that had conquered entire galaxies. They fired time distortion weapons designed to trap the Sovereign in endless loops of the same moment. The human ship shuddered as temporal energy struck its hull. For a moment, it seemed caught in the alien trap. Then something unexpected happened. "Chronometer arrays activated," Amy reported. "We're using their time distortion to accelerate our own weapons." The Sovereign's guns fired shots that arrived before they were fired. Corvani ships exploded from attacks that traveled backward through time. The ancient aliens watched in horror as their most powerful weapons were turned against them. "This cannot be," the Corvani elder shouted. "Time itself obeys our will." "Time obeys physics," Jake replied. "And we've learned physics you've never imagined." More alien species joined the battle. The crystalline Shahari created gravity wells strong enough to crush moons. The gaseous Etherians tried to infiltrate the ship's computer systems. The mechanical Cognari deployed logic viruses designed to overwhelm human minds. Each attack failed in spectacular fashion. The Sovereign used the gravity wells to slingshot around the battlefield, moving at impossible speeds. When the Etherians tried to enter the ship's computers, they found human artificial intelligence that adapted faster than they could attack. The Cognari logic viruses crashed against human creativity that refused to follow logical patterns. "Captain," Nina Wells reported from security, "alien boarding parties are trying to teleport inside our ship. Our quantum fields are disrupting their transport systems. They're materializing inside solid walls." "Keep our people safe," Jake ordered. "Let them exhaust themselves against our defenses." The battle raged for hours. Every time the aliens thought they had found a weakness in human technology, the Sovereign demonstrated a new capability. The ship seemed to exist in multiple places at once, phase through solid matter, and bend space around itself like a living thing. "Status report," Jake called out. 40% of the alien fleet is disabled or destroyed," Ryan reported. "The rest are pulling back to regroup. Our systems are actually performing better under combat stress," Lisa added. "The quantum matrices are learning from each attack and adapting." Dr. Alan Hughes studied the alien formations from his science station. "Captain, they're confused. None of their standard tactics work against us. They're starting to make mistakes." Jake looked at the main screen, which showed hundreds of alien ships retreating to safe distances. The mighty Galactic Council fleet, which had never faced serious opposition, was learning what it felt like to lose. "Open a channel to the Council," Jake ordered. High Counselor Vexhai appeared on screen, its composure cracking. "What are you?" "We're humans," Jake answered simply. "We're everything you feared we might become." Your technology is impossible. It violates natural law. It violates your understanding of natural law. That's the difference between us. When we encounter something impossible, we find a way to make it possible. The Etherian representative, a swirling mass of colored gas, spoke with a voice like wind through caves. You cannot defeat all of us. We are 12 species with thousands of ships. You're 12 species that have forgotten how to change, Jake corrected. We're one species that never stops learning. Amy looked up from her sensors. Captain, I'm detecting energy buildups across their remaining fleet. They're preparing for a final assault. All remaining ships, Vex High commanded. Converge on the human vessel. Use every weapon at maximum power. End this. The alien fleet moved forward like a storm of metal and energy. Nearly 1,000 ships surrounded the Sovereign, their weapons charging for a simultaneous attack that would overwhelm any defense. Jake stood up from his command chair. Lisa, are the Prometheus arrays ready? Charged and standing by, sir. What are Prometheus arrays? Dr. Hughes asked. Jake smiled. Something we named after the god who gave fire to humanity. Ryan, target the Council Station. Full power. The Sovereign's most powerful weapon systems came online. But these weren't ordinary guns. The Prometheus arrays didn't fire energy or matter. They fired something far more dangerous to the aliens. They fired human creativity itself. The beam struck the Council space station, and suddenly every alien mind connected to the station's network experienced something they had never felt before: independent thought, curiosity, the desire to question everything they had been taught. The effect spread through the alien fleets like wildfire. Thousands of alien minds that had followed orders without question for centuries suddenly wondered why. Hive minds split apart as individuals began thinking for themselves. Ancient beings questioned traditions they had never examined. What have you done to us? Vexhai screamed, holding its head as new thoughts crashed through its consciousness. We've given you a gift, Jake replied. The gift of doubt. The gift of wonder. The gift of the possibility that things could be different. Half the alien fleet stopped moving as their crews struggled with concepts they had never considered. Ships collided as pilots made their own decisions instead of following programmed responses. The perfect order of the Galactic Council crumbled as thousands of beings experienced freedom of thought for the first time. The Council space station's shields flickered and failed. For the first time in 1,000 years, the seat of galactic government was defenseless. But Jake didn't order the final attack. Instead, he opened a communication channel to every ship in the system. This is Captain Jake Morrison of Earth. His voice reached every alien ear. We didn't come here to conquer you. We came here to show you that there's another way to live. A way where differences make us stronger instead of weaker. The battlefield fell silent except for the hum of engines and the whisper of solar wind. 2,000 alien ships faced one human vessel, and for the first time in galactic history, the outcome was uncertain. The choice is yours, Jake continued. You can keep trying to destroy us and probably succeed eventually. Or you can try something your galaxy hasn't done in 1,000 years. You can try to change. The silence stretched across space like a held breath. Nearly 2,000 alien ships floated motionless around the Sovereign, their crews struggling with thoughts and feelings they had never experienced before. The Council space station hung defenseless, its shields down, its government in chaos. Finally, High Counselor Vexhai's voice crackled over the communication system. Human Captain, we request a meeting. Jake felt the tension on his bridge ease slightly. I'll come aboard your station, alone. Sir, Nina Wells protested, that could be a trap. Maybe, Jake agreed. But someone has to take the first step toward trust. 20 minutes later, Jake walked through the corridors of the Council space station. The hallways were enormous, built to accommodate 12 different species. Ancient artwork covered the walls, showing 1,000 years of galactic peace. But as Jake walked, he noticed something had changed. Small groups of aliens stood talking in excited whispers. Some were arguing with each other for the first time in centuries. Others stared at the artwork with new eyes, seeing beauty they had never noticed before. The council chamber was in chaos when Jake arrived. The 12 representatives were no longer sitting in their assigned seats. Instead, they moved around the room, talking, gesturing, and experiencing the messy democracy that humans had known for thousands of years. Captain Morrison, Vexhai said, approaching Jake. The alien leader looked different somehow, less rigid, more alive. "What have you done to us?" "We've shown you what it feels like to think for yourself," Jake replied. "To question things. To wonder if there might be a better way." The ancient Corvani representative stepped forward. "For 10,000 years I have followed the same patterns, thought the same thoughts. Today, for the first time, I wondered if I might be wrong about something." "How does it feel?" Jake asked. "Terrifying," the alien admitted, "and wonderful. The Zephyrian energy being flickered with new colors. My people have existed as pure thought for millennia. We believed physical matter was beneath us. But watching your ship fight, seeing how you use matter and energy together, perhaps we have been limiting ourselves." Dr. Hughes entered the chamber behind Jake carrying a portable computer. "Captain, I've been analyzing the effects of the Prometheus arrays. The neurological changes in the alien minds aren't permanent, but they've opened pathways that were closed before." "Meaning?" Vexhai asked. "Meaning you can choose," Jake explained. "You can go back to thinking the way you always have, or you can explore these new possibilities. The choice is yours." The blue-skinned council member with 4 arms raised one hand. "My species has shared a collective consciousness for 1,000 years. But now some of us want to think independently. This creates complications." "Welcome to humanity," Jake said with a smile. "We've been dealing with complications like that for our entire history. The secret is learning to work together despite our differences." "But how?" asked the gaseous Etherean representative. "How do you maintain order when everyone thinks differently?" Amy Foster activated her portable display showing images from Earth. "We argue. We debate. We vote. Sometimes we fight. But we also learn from each other. Our differences make us stronger, not weaker." The Nexari collective, now split into thousands of individual voices, spoke in confusion. "But if everyone disagrees, how do you make decisions?" "Carefully," Jake replied. "And sometimes we make the wrong decisions. But then we learn from our mistakes and try again. That's how we grow." Over the next several hours, representatives from the 12 species came forward with questions. Some wanted to know how humans had developed their advanced technology. Others asked about human philosophy and government. A few wanted to understand how individual creativity worked. "Your quantum technology," the crystalline Shahari representative said, "it seems to respond to consciousness itself. How is this possible?" Lisa Carter, who had joined the meeting by video link from the Sovereign, answered. "We discovered that observation changes reality at the quantum level. So we built machines that could be conscious. Our technology doesn't just follow orders, it thinks." "Impossible," several aliens said at once. "That's what we thought too," Lisa replied. "Until we tried it." As the discussions continued, Jake began to see a pattern. Each alien species had reached a certain level of development and then stopped. They had decided their way was perfect and refused to change. "You've all been living in fear," Jake realized. "Fear of chaos. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of being wrong." "Yes," Vexhai admitted. "For 1,000 years we have prioritized stability over growth. Safety over discovery. But you can't have growth without risk," Amy added. "You can't discover new things without the possibility of being wrong." The Corvani elder nodded slowly. "Your species accepts uncertainty as natural. We have spent millennia trying to eliminate it. And in doing so, you eliminated the possibility of becoming something greater," Jake said. The meeting continued for days. Representatives returned to their ships and brought back others who wanted to experience the new thoughts and feelings. Some aliens chose to return to their old ways of thinking, but many embraced the chaos of independent thought. Not everyone was happy with the changes. Several species demanded that the humans be destroyed before they could corrupt galactic civilization further. But for the first time in centuries, these voices were outnumbered by others who wanted to try something new. "We need new agreements," Vexhai announced on the 3rd day. "New ways to govern a galaxy where different species can think differently. We propose the Terran Accords," Jake said, using Earth's ancient name. "A system where diversity is protected instead of feared, where new ideas are welcomed instead of rejected." The negotiations took weeks. Some species left the council entirely, choosing isolation over change. Others split into factions as their people chose different paths. But slowly, a new structure emerged. "The galaxy will never be the same," the Etherean representative observed. "That's the point," Jake replied. The signing ceremony took place aboard the Sovereign. Representatives from 7 of the 12 original species, put their marks on the agreement that would reshape galactic civilization. 5 species chose to remain in isolation, but even they agreed to stop interfering with human development. "What happens now?" Vexhai asked as the ceremony ended. Jake looked out at the stars visible through the ship's windows. "Now we all learn together. Humans will share what we've discovered about growth and change. You can teach us about stability and wisdom. Together, we might create something neither of us could achieve alone." The Sovereign prepared to return to Earth, but it would not be traveling alone. Ships from 6 alien species would accompany it, their crews eager to see the world that had produced such impossible people. "Captain," Beth Taylor reported from the communication station, "I'm receiving a message from Earth. Admiral Peterson wants to know our status." Jake smiled. "Tell him the mission was successful. Humanity is no longer alone in the galaxy. And the alien threat? There is no alien threat. There are alien friends, alien rivals, alien partners, and alien strangers, just like there should be." As the small fleet prepared to enter quantum space, Jake made one final log entry. The aliens feared our aggression would destroy their peace. They were right and wrong. Our refusal to accept limitations did destroy their peace. But it was a peace built on stagnation and fear. In its place, we've helped create something better. A galaxy where different ways of thinking can coexist and learn from each other. He paused, watching the quantum tunnel form around their ships. The galaxy trembled when Earth's battleship arrived, but it wasn't trembling from fear. It was trembling from the growing pains of change. And change, however painful, is the only way to grow. The mixed fleet disappeared into quantum space, carrying news of the galaxy's transformation back to Earth. Behind them, the Council space station hummed with new activity, as alien minds that had been quiet for centuries began to dream of possibilities they had never imagined. The age of enforced peace was over. The age of chosen cooperation had begun,